Now, I want to start off by letting you know that this is a great honor for me. I grew up watching your games and watching you be the world chess champion for so many years. Now, I want to ask you, how do you like our city and our salt mine that you visited? I heard you went to Turda as well.
Thank you. Yes, I have. It's a lovely city, and obviously I'm here at a very exciting time when there's this wonderful sports festival. So it's also full of people and activity and nice. I think it's a brilliant concept. I wish we had something similar in India. The idea of a sporting festival just to promote all the games. Of course, we have big sporting events, but a festival like this where a lot of sports come together. It's a very nice way to get people motivated to playing. I'm obviously here with the Chess Federation and Superbet and thing, but it's very exciting to be in a multi-sport event like this. And the salt mine was very nice. I have seen some salt mines before, but nonetheless, every time you go down and you see what the miners, how they used to bring up all the salt and everything, it's very nice. And clearly, the level of human perseverance you can see there.
Yeah, we actually just had a chess tournament inside the salt mine. It just ended a few weeks ago. Would you ever consider playing in such a place?
Well, learning what I did yesterday, that the air in the salt mine is very good for your health, maybe I should. Exactly.
Now, I have to ask you about this because you're one of the only people in history to have ever got to wear the crown of World Chess Champion. How do you feel about the current situation that we're having right now with the World Chess Champion Liren, who just got crowned, and Magnus Carlsen, who's arguably the best chess player in the world at the moment? How do you feel about this situation?
Luckily, we had time to prepare for it, in a sense, because Magnus announced it in advance that he was probably not going to defend his title. And he's been, let's say, signaling his, I don't know the right word, disillusionment a little bit. I think under the circumstances, it's the best we can do. We should not forget that Liren and Jan Nepomniachtchi are both two of the strongest players around. And it would have been very nice to have a match with either of them against thing. So nobody's saying that somebody who's out of the top 10 is there. It's the number 2 and number 3. It would be nice if Magnus played, but he did his bit. He won 5 titles, and I respect that he wants to stop. And in a way, it had a positive effect, which is that Liren and Jan Nepomniachtchi played a more exciting match than we saw in maybe 15 years. So it had an unexpected boost for the game. And I think it's because both of them felt they could beat the other one. Whereas with Magnus, everyone is getting a little bit cautious. But of course, this was not part of the plan. And the most important thing that we were able to deliver a world-class world championship this time, which was really exciting and followed by everyone.
It was definitely one of the most exciting matches I've ever seen. But during your World Championship titles, did you ever have this feeling that Magnus was facing the difficulty? Because you have these championships once every 2 to 3 years and you have to prepare for so many months in advance. Did you ever feel suffocated by all this preparation?
Almost every time. So when I played in Bonn, I felt like a bird because it was my first match after 13 years. So I had played against Kasparov in 95 and then Bonn with Kramnik. I mean, the Karpov thing was 6 games, so we're talking more than double. And I felt like a bird because I enjoyed the preparation, I enjoyed the months of work, everything felt new. 2010 for Topalov, it's already getting a little bit thing. But you still do it because you understand the value of the title and your position in history and all that. Third match, already with Gelfand, you could see that it was thing. So it's a common thing. Also, we must not forget that in the 70s and 80s, they used to have the match every 3 years. And now we have it every 2 and sometimes every year. And that's the problem. When we had it every 3 years, there was still time to recover. But in the modern context, 3 years is not very feasible. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't rule it out. It could be something to go back to. But in the modern context, we have to think how to both keep, because we have so many more strong players trying, that 3 years means people's careers are finishing. And 2 years, well, everything happens over and over. So we have to find this balance somewhere.
And right at this time, there's a certain competition going on in Norway Chess 2023. And as far as I can remember, last year, you had a spectacular performance there at the competition. I want to ask you, how do you manage to keep this longevity against all these youngsters and who are full of energy? How do you manage to stay on top?
A lot of it is simply work. Before I play these events, I try to get myself back into shape, because otherwise I know it'll be very unpleasant. I mean, these youngsters have so much energy and so many advantages that I have to get into top shape. And I think the fact that I'm still working around the game, I'm excited by the game, I'm following the game, means that within a month or two, I'm able to get back in shape. So this is what I did last time. I had some training camps in April, in May, and then I played. Hopefully I'll be able to do this again when I play in the Global Chess League and also in the Zagreb Grand Chess Tour.
Of course. And did you get any chance to look at the tournament this year? Because I saw that Gukesh, your fellow countryman, in the Blitz he managed to beat Magnus. They had a little Blitz tournament before to decide, I think, the pairings. And then in the first round he managed to beat Firuza in a beautiful game with the black pieces. Did you get the chance to watch any of his games?
Yes, very much. Obviously, the game with Firuza, there were some difficult moments as well, but in general he converted very well. And even though the game with Magnus was in a blitz, it's still a good thing, because every time you beat him, you get some confidence. And I think these youngsters need that. Brilliant start. Yesterday it went very badly against Nakamura. But I think he can be happy with 1 win and 1 loss.
Yeah, and obviously, I mean, this is my opinion. I think you're one of the main reasons why India is such a strong youngster lineup these days, because I think that you inspired the people in India that this chess is not just a hobby, it can also be a career. I saw all your interviews and the story on the train, and I really enjoyed that one. And how does it make you feel, this idea that you were somewhat behind this? Does it give you some sort of fulfillment?
Definitely. I mean, I know I had a long-term impact on the sport in India, and I think a good deal of its current popularity was because of my thing. Of course, I feel very satisfied. It's when you start a sport, of course, you do it for yourself, but eventually you want people around you to appreciate it, and I'm very flattered that it happened that way.
And if you were to make a prediction, in how many years would you see an Indian chess player fighting for the World Championship title?
I hope within the next 2 cycles, at least challenging. Winning it is another story. The rest of the world also has a lot of things, so it's not like we have a clean slate. But Gukesh, Pragnananda, Nihal, all these players will be maturing more and more. And hopefully one of them has a shot at it. I think that will be very nice.
Yeah. You were talking about the rest of the world, and of course we're here in Romania. I have to ask you, last year you participated in the Club Cup for Romanian team, for ASE Bucharest, and you got to see some of the Romanian players, some of the top Romanian players and the top Romanian juniors. How did you consider these Romanian players, our federation? How do you look at it in terms of our performance in the future?
I think you have a good stable base of middle-level grandmasters. Deac, Lupulescu, Gabrielescu. They are good. Deac has good performances even in these in the classical tournaments in Bucharest, and so he's able to raise his performance to that level. This year, obviously, it didn't go that way. So you have a thing, but somebody world-beating, probably we wait a little bit more. The good thing is that Superbet is supporting them and supporting a lot of activities here. So and now you get this influence, Rapport, Shevchenko, and a very good one of the top coaches in the world, in my opinion, Ivan Sokolov. And so maybe within 5-7 years, we will see the results. But the first thing is, in order for somebody to be very good at the game, they have to start playing. And I think so the popularity will precede the result. But of course that the activity level in Romania has gone up by so much itself is a very good sign.
Yeah, definitely. And also Ramesh, he's also a great coach.
Absolutely. Ramesh as well. Sorry, he was working more in the junior thing. I was talking of the top players, but you're right. Ramesh, I think he knows how to get players to pass the junior stages and all that. And you're getting drenched. But anyway.
But it's fine. It's okay.
And anyway, but this all happens because there is some activity. There are people who are dedicated to moving things along. And that is the most important thing.
And you also brought up the competition in Bucharest, the Superbet Chess Classic. Were you surprised? Because at least I was surprised to see that Liren and Jan Nepomniachtchi went there to play right after championship, such a difficult championship. I don't know, would you have considered doing something like that?
But remember, they didn't agree to it after the World Championship. What I guess is they were offered it in February or January or whatever, and they thought to themselves, yes, we will be tired, but on the other hand, we will be well prepared, and there's a week to recover. So, and if I lose, then it's a way of consoling myself. And so you have these justifications. With hindsight, it looks like a bad decision because this match took too much energy of them, but maybe they couldn't predict it themselves. And I remember once Karpov said this. He said he played a tournament immediately after losing the World Championship to Gary. And he said that after finishing the tournament, he felt like the bad memories of the match were very far behind. Whereas if you don't play something else, this memory is there with you for much longer. So probably they have forgotten both the match and maybe Ding is not happy with forgetting the match, but Nepo is for sure happy with forgetting the match.
Yeah, he replaced some of the bad memories with some other bad memories.
That is true. It wasn't supposed to go that badly. I mean, if they had a decent result, they would have still felt, okay, I can move on to something. But I did this myself, where I played in the London tournaments right after my matches in 13 and 14. And it was useful. By the time I went back from London, the bad memories were quite far behind. It's a tough decision, but also remember, they would have to say no not only to Bucharest, they would have to say no to the whole tour. And maybe that was another consideration.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. Yeah, that makes...
Yeah, because you lose, you have to get 2 classics and 2 rapid and blitz, or 0. You cannot choose one. And so that was their problem, I think.
Yeah. And of course, as we all know, you are the vice president of FIDE as of last year. Do you have anything exciting you want to share with us about these potential ideas?
Okay, we have introduced a lot of very new competitions. We have a World Rapid Team Championship now. I think we're going to have this Global Chess League with Tech Mahindra, this Indian company. We have just finished a successful Women's Grand Prix with much higher prize funds than was the case in the past. So the last year we have logged a few significant achievements, and I hope we will continue to do this, because FIDE is a little bit in the middle of 2 things. One is this new trend of online chess activity and the post-Queen's Gambit effect. But we also have to try and conserve what was there before and not make everything like an e-sport. So we have to find this balance between the two. And I think we're doing, we're doing a reasonable job, but we will judge in hindsight.
I know I was watching some online event a few years ago, and you were playing on chess.com, I think. And you were winning the game, or you had a good position. And yeah, you could see that you weren't like these kids who can move their mouse really, really quickly. That's esports. When you get to under 10 seconds, it's really, really difficult to play.
That is true. I guess if I practiced it a lot, I would get better at it, but it's true. It's an alien environment. In fact, it was very funny. Nihal Sarin, who is a third my age, he told me last year, I lost one of these online events, and he told me, "It's okay, sir, don't feel bad. You have no experience here." And I thought that was very funny because, he's 17 and he's telling me, "It's okay, you have no experience." And I was laughing a lot at this, but you're right.
And you also mentioned the Grand Prix, I think in Nicosia, was it? Yeah, very successful event. That's very good news because I heard from some of our players, I think maybe Irina Bulmagat, that there was this problem with the previous Grand Prix, Women's Grand Prix, but it's very nice to see that everything was sorted and it was a great event in Nicosia. And there's one last thing I want to ask you, if it's not too much. Right there I have my first chess book that my parents got me when I was 6 years old. Can you guess what this book is? I think the name pretty much gives it away.
Yeah, Bobby Fischer's.
Yeah,
is it as memorable?
it's the
60
games.
memorable.
And I would like for you to sign it if it's not too much. And
I'll give you go and do it there off camera.
maybe you want to
Like here.
see that. Yeah.
Okay.
There's some interesting paintings there by me, and maybe you can guess what those are. Those are some chess pieces, I guess.
Yes, well, the Queen and King gives it away.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought this was an island, to be honest.
yeah, that's
But
not really.
I might have guessed from the other ones. Okay, but
Oh, Yeah, you know the knight is always the most interesting
Challenging.
piece. Yeah, it's the most difficult one to get. It was a pleasure having you here, and we survived the.
thank you. Well, you protected me. I was safer here, but it's good. Thanks.
Yeah, I hope you're gonna come here more often. Definitely in Romania, as we're growing as a federation, and we hope to see you playing here very soon as well. And even in our city, tomorrow you'll have a very interesting event as well. from
Yeah,
what I heard.
blindfold Simon with Ivan, yeah. Yes, and I'm working closely with Superbet as well, so I hope I will have the chance to come to Romania quite often.